I'm so stoked today because I'm here with The Things. I'm here to promote their new album that they just dropped May 21st called Vicarious Catharsis. How are y'all doing today? I love y'all setup.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I have nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about. I really today want to dive in to your roots. I want to learn everything humanly possible about The Things. I'd love to hear first off about y'all's origin story, about how y'all formed as a band, and where the name came from. Like, and also even the album name, because I think the name is really interesting. It's very unique.
Cool.
So I'd love to first off just
Yeah,
hear
so
about
originally I came up with the idea for The Things a long time ago. I was looking for band names at, I don't know, it was like 13, 14. Actually, I was talking to my friend Skylar about it, who mentioned he remembers when we came up with the idea. He was like, yeah, that's a good, means a lot of things all at once. But over the years, how it came together, it's kind of evolved, and really what it is we've all been friends with each other separately and together, and there's just been this gravity that's kind of pulled us into this space together, and that's really how it happened. There's a long interwoven story behind it, but the gist of it is like we couldn't avoid each other. We kept sinking.
Yeah. Kept pulling each other in.
Yeah, pretty much.
you know, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
I'm all about divine alignment and divine timing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I heard, like, because I did some digging yesterday about you guys, and just hearing how like long it took, like, and how like long you've had these like certain songs written, and like the whole like passion for the band. Like, there's no better time than now for you guys to like literally skyrocket. I mean, this record, it's a melting pot of like 1970s psychedelic blues, and just there's so much grit to this album. Like, I felt like I was like transcending to the freaking fifth dimension hearing y'all shit.
Thank
Like,
you.
and also like I see that saxophone over there. Like, that set me. I'm a big saxophone girl. I love the sax. Like, I haven't learned how to play yet, but since I was a little kid, I was infatuated with it. So like, I just love how y'all's music is just a whole melting pot full of like saxophone, clarinet, drums, keys, whatever.
Yeah, it really goes all over the place. And like, back to your question as well about the name of the album, it's Vicarious Catharsis, for kind of what you were just saying, like that we hope that people find something in it and it moves them and they can release something through it or experience some sort of catharsis with it. I mean, that's what music does, and we realize when we play live together, we always get up there, we don't fully plan, and we just kind of lose it together and release all that we've been carrying. And when you do that on stage, it's vicarious. People stand there and look at you, and they can't help but move if you're doing it honestly with yourself and together.
Yeah.
And that's why it's called Vicarious Catharsis, because we were trying to bring that into a recording. That's why we did most of it live. Well, all of it live to tape, pretty much.
Well, that's what got me to want to play with these guys in the first place. You know, I was playing in Ian's band over here. I was playing in his band, and then we were all, floating around each other in Hollywood and crossing paths, and they were starting to skip a room little by little. But when we started to play together, and I'd get invited up on stage to them, and I was like, man, I just want to play with these guys. Like, we got to lock in so quick, and we just got to ride the vibe together, and everybody else was enjoying it too, so like that's what we're all searching for, everybody to get that.
That's so powerful. I love that. I love hearing stories like that. Like, who are y'all's greatest influences, like, as musicians? Who have like shaped you as musicians, whether that's bands, singular artists, like, just name a few.
I mean, it goes across the board, especially with everyone here. We all have totally different and interwoven similar interests, but like, I know for me, it's always, at first it was the White Stripes, then it was Led Zeppelin, then Jimi Hendrix and Pink Floyd, and then Curtis Mayfield and Joni Mitchell. There's a whole, like, all the greatest, you just said all the greats pretty
all
much.
The greats,
and that's mine.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say Blink-182, because I learned all my instruments because of those guys, but
It's on the list.
my older brother, Jeffrey, watching him as a musician shaped me personally and inspired a lot of what's happening today. So I must say that.
Yeah, definitely Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And this guy too. Right?
Yeah.
It's a rich tapestry, you know. It's like, for me, it's Muse and Tool and
Yeah.
Queen and James Taylor. I mean, there's really no way to narrow it down, but we all these intersecting circles like Stevie Wonder. And,
Stevie Wonder.
Certain elements we all
The
dig.
Stevies, Stevie
America.
Ray.
Yeah.
All the Stevies,
All the
yeah.
Stevies.
All the Stevies.
Yeah.
Did y'all say Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Stevie
Oh
Ray.
yes, absolutely.
Stevie Ray is like
absolutely
one of the guys.
amazing.
One of the guys that got me into the blues. Elvis was probably my first music influence, to tell you the truth. And who got me into the blues? Because he had love and respect for the blues, and he always never wanted to try to go away from that. But Stevie Ray led me to Jimmy, and Jimmy led me to like Buddy Guy and B.B. King and all the blues greats, all the way back to Robert Johnson. And I'm just a child of the blues too. And I grew up with an older sister who was kind of like the one in Almost Famous, and she was a little rebellious, and so she was listening to vinyl back in the day in like early 2000s, late 90s, and she was listening to the White Stripes too, and ELO, and everything from back then, all that golden era of music. And I think we all wanted to make something like that together.
Yeah, that's the White Stripes brought me to the blues too. I was really into old like Blind Willie McTell, Robert Johnson, and all these ones, just because I wouldn't have found it if it wasn't for just interviews of Jack White explaining these things.
Yeah.
It's like it's funny because a lot of the rock bands and big acts that they're based on the blues, and it all comes back. It's like a funnel back to like Delta blues. It's kind of crazy.
And they're all humble enough to say that that's where they're getting it from, and we're all just trying to do as good as they did,
Yeah.
so on and so
Like,
forth.
The blues is where that's the foundation. Like that is the foundation.
Amen.
Like to get to Led Zeppelin and everybody else, like you have to dive deep into the blues. Like
Totally.
it's necessary.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good eclectic style. I salute you. I salute you.
Oh,
You're
very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Great.
I love your room. Your room is freaking cool. You got cool hair too.
Walking over here and whatnot. Tell me about the Skipper Room. Y'all not only recorded your album here, but you live there as well. Like, tell me what's a day in a life at the Skip Room? What's it like being around music all day and just being around each other, and just tell me all about that.
I think, the main thing is you don't have to try for collaboration. We're all just here,
Bouncing off each other.
Our lunar cycles have now
Are synced, yeah.
synced, and so we bleed together. We
Yeah.
we ride together.
This is a vision from this man over here. We figured out how to do it together, but he put this all together, and we plugged all the stuff in, and it started becoming everyone putting it together, and now we built this space where we all love it, and we love each other, and we're constantly working on dealing with the flares of ego and like the things that happen in life, and together it's a lot easier when you really decide to do that, especially when you have a joint vision, which is we all want to play music, or like my wife says, I always want to be at a music festival. So it always is, all these visions intertwine.
Yeah.
So
And we also live a real life.
yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
We eat food together. we try to keep it balanced. Exercise.
Yeah,
We play Scrabble.
Yeah, they play a lot of Scrabble.
We
Back
grow,
just
we
like
grow our
something
food
else.
here. I mean, we try to grow our food. Fight the gophers off.
Go
It's a
first.
constant war with the gophers. The kids will help soon.
And you can come in here any time of day, and there's always somebody working on something. So
Yeah.
we push each other to get better, especially with this past year, just having a lot more time to sink in. We're always being pushed creatively, musically, personally, the whole thing.
Yeah, there's always at least 4 music projects working here.
Yeah.
Like 4 different bands working in this spot,
At one time.
at any given time.
Totally.
And people
It
coming
doesn't
and
get
going.
better than that though. Like that constant inspiration, and y'all saying like y'all grow your own, vegetables and fruit, and y'all eat together, and y'all are each other's family. And I think that's beautiful, and it shows in your music because you can sense and feel the connection that all of you have with each other, and especially like you were saying with COVID and the pandemic, everyone had time to kind of like buckle down and just have their roots down for a while, and I mean, shit. I mean, y'all really. I can't only imagine what that must feel like. Like that's a dream for me to have like a place, a little oasis.
Come hang
That's
out.
what-
Come
Literally,
on over,
come
get
over.
your tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come pitch your tent. We're
Look
looking
you're
at
in town.
looking at some
I
bigger
mean, as
places.
soon as I come to LA, like I'm hitting up the skipper room. Please, like,
Yes.
I'll be
Yes,
knocking at
ma'am.
Chelsea's door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got our
Okay,
number.
so, okay, every single minute. This is like partial an interview, but also me like nonstop gushing about how great this album
Cool.
is.
That's a
awesome.
Tell
good
me what it
word.
was like for y'all to record this album. Like, what are some of y'all's favorite memories? Like, what is y'all's process? Just like one
Took a
person
while.
do like the writing? Like, is there multiple people writing or like laying down riffs and be like, look at this, whatever? Like,
Well, it was kind of an evolution of like seeds of songs and new ideas, and then we would just stand in the room and press some buttons together, and it just like the way all these characters play together, it just becomes this other thing. You know, it's like how, like my favorite probably memory of recording the album is doing Answer the Question. We had one big bottle of tequila, and this was before everyone lived together. This was like when it was just the space, and we were really like shedding the album, and it was one take. We all got in here. We had smoke machines going. We
Is it
had
a
lights.
circle?
We have some footage of this, but somewhere. But there was just lights and like lasers and like I don't know. And we just got in here. We
Lid
did
was on the floor.
Lid was on the floor,
That's right.
shooting us, and everyone was in here all at once with one big bottle of tequila, dancing, and we did one take, and it was pretty great.
One 19-minute take.
Yeah, we got it down to
So much
15
fun.
minutes.
Yeah, it was
somehow.
19, and we cut it down for 15, for the public.
Yeah, 19's just a
on.
little long.
That's rock and roll, man. Like,
Yeah.
so when you were saying that, I just envisioned like Jack Black, because you know how like he is in School of Rock and how passionate he is about lasers and like all. Like I can imagine just how like rad that must have been. And also with tequila, absolutely. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
go wrong with the mug.
Yeah, every once in a while when you gotta jump into a little rock and roll, tequila doesn't.
Oh yeah. And like I was told, like y'all's music,
Stimulant.
y'all did it like each song, y'all recorded it from like beginning to end. So there was no like stops, and it was just like all straight up live.
Yeah,
Right?
well,
Like,
well, it's on tape, so like you got a set amount of time, and you want to do it right and perform it, because if you want to do it again, you gotta erase what you did. so
Permanent deletion.
so you pick the one that's like this. I think we got it, and then you can go in, of course, and layer things. Like we added a couple things, but it really the core of it. As long as, I guess, for us, as long as the core of it's really there and live, you can replace everything, but the soul's still in there. You know what I mean? Like, at least for me.
But to be
Yeah.
clear, the instrumentation, the vibe was live,
Yeah.
and you could punch in on tape, but to do one take just to give that moment, it was something that we thought to be very special. And of course, if you added a lick here or there, we usually just took it out, but maybe we left it somewhere. But it was very important to us that we showed a moment in time in a room that's hand put together on machines that are very unique. The electricals were soldered and hooked up by yours truly. So you can't get this song again, even how it was mixed. I mixed it all live, and I don't even know how to mix these songs again.
Yeah.
So each song is the only song of this will ever exist. I can mix it again, but I'll be in a different mindset. I'll have a different vibe. So that to me is what's really special about this place, is that you can't mimic it. It's perfections, whatever it is, it's a stamp in time, and it'll last forever. And I think it's very important.
Yeah.
What you get is what you got.
Yeah.
And there's no splicing, there's no copy and paste.
No.
There's none of that.
You just frame the picture and take it.
Yeah.
Right on. What are some of y'all's favorite tracks? Like individually, like do y'all have like a specific track on this album that has a specific meaning to you? You like playing it the most?
I mean, probably She's Got My Number, or Goodbye. I love that song. It turned out so different from the intention. Probably.
That samba tune.
Goodbye.
Yeah, Goodbye is like.
Yeah, that was different.
It's so good to listen to too. Like you just turn it on while you're driving.
Yeah, it's
great.
nice.
Yeah, the song Goodbye we played a certain way, and then Lucas was laying on the couch when we were recording it, and he's just And I'm so used to him just like, letting this energy out and this, this grit. And I was like, wait a minute, we have to sing this like that because you have this tone that I had no clue. And so he laid on the couch, did his take, and the whole song went into this vibe that's different than we used to play it. And I think it adds a nice special element because then we showcases Saxy's ability to ride those gold triggers.
Yeah.
It's easy with you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'd say Babe It's Fine. It's got some moments. It's like our ballad. That and Puppet, like the softer side too. Because we can do In Your Face all day long, but when we really slowed it down, that was a really special night.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Off the gas.
Oh yeah.
The first day I came here, I didn't know it was gonna be a recording session. I thought I was rehearsing for like a different thing, and we recorded "Masquerade" on an old tape machine, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that song will always be special.
The moment he joined the band was the moment we started recording. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
No way, you're in.
And it's now. So
it's now.
what do you want to do? Anything you want.
I was in. I didn't even know it. So.
Move in.
Move in.
That easy.
Y'all are so cool. Y'all are so cool. Y'all are so much fun to talk to. I have one more question to ask you guys. Like, I told y'all earlier that like this album, I think I'm a broken record at this point, but this really does take you back in time, and this is already a special album for me. I really like it. It's in my top 10 right now.
Nice.
Cool.
I love it.
Thank you.
How do you want your new listeners, because y'all are going to gain a lot of new listeners from this album. Mind you, this is y'all's first debut. Like, y'all just dropped an atomic bomb with this one. How do you want your new audience to feel like hearing your new music? Like, what do you want them to experience listening to Vicarious Catharsis?
Whatever they need
Whatever
to.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. One song at a time.
I do like how you're explaining it, so this is nice.
Yeah, whatever
Right.
you're
Like
whatever
how you
you're
feel.
feeling, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, music it's once you release it, it's not yours anymore. It's people have ownership of it as soon as they listen to it and it relates to something in their life that they came up at that time and held them up a little bit, or like let them, let all their shit out. So honestly, whatever it needs to be, I just hope people can, find that with it. And it's a blessing to be able to even record something and put it out for somebody. And whoever it can help, even if it helps one or two people, like. I'm just glad we did it. It was fun. Yeah.
I really would. The spirit of these players in this room, and I got to play a fun role of outside perspective, also being bassist in the band, but trying to record it and tell a story. It was a wild time, and what they put into the songs, being in this room during these recordings. I hope everybody records like this because of the sweat, the fun, the smiles. It's just the moments we didn't keep on the album were incredible. So I really would like for people to hear this album from beginning to end, and by the end of it, feel like they are a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody gave it, everything they had, and I feel like we've communicated at least our honesty in every way that we can to say this is who we are, and maybe we'd like to meet you.
Yeah. Come hang out with us. Come dance.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I want to know I already said I was on one last question, but
That's fine.
with COVID finally kind of taming down a little bit because of vaccines and all that, are there any shows in the near future? Like a tour or local gigs?
We're playing July 4th. 4th of July at our friend's stage near Dodger
Right.
Stadium with Trapdoor Social, and then
Harvard and Stone.
we're gonna have potentially residency with Harvard and Stone. We're still working on the dates for that, and something that our favorite type of show to do is we actually throw our own festivals. We go to this. We just did one recently where we went to this property and we built the stage, hands and knees, building the stage. We built a roller disco dance floor and a half pipe. And we got to we throw our own festival, and so we're gonna be doing that again, probably in the
Fall
fall.
time.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the Instagram,
It's
and if you
called-
want to come, it'll be there.
Fest.
Fest.
Musical meeting of magical minds.
Yeah, so
That sounds sick.
In the
Oh
high
my
desert
God.
yeah,
in California.
California desert.
In the
California
middle of
desert
nowhere.
vibe. Mountain desert.
Yeah, bring
Get
your roller
country.
skates
Get
and your
loud,
slack lines.
skateboards, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. That's the most
Sleepovers.
fun. Is like it's our
Bring a trailer.
we bring our Airstream and our vans and all of our little thing, and our kittens come, and then we set up couches
Yeah.
and rugs, and then we just bring all our friends and have like our own little party show.
Yeah. Little music festival.
That sounds like a good ass time, to be
It's-
honest with you.
dude, it
I
is.
love roller skating. So, like,
Bring your
I
skates,
would
come
lose
on.
my skate. Oh my god.
Do you
That
know how to do
sounds-
the roller dance? Do you dance with your skates? Or just skate?
I don't dance with my skates
Okay.
per se, but I will learn.
Yeah, that's cool.
You gotta
gotta
learn,
go
come
with
I
in.
will learn.
We're
Just gotta
recruiting.
go with it.
We're looking for roller dances.
We're looking for roller dances.
I'll be the first one
Yeah.
signing up.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. Well, Bandit family, I have a surprise for you. The things are gonna perform a song for you guys. So grab a water, grab a beer, grab a nice snack, and let loose.
do it.
Here's the.
She's got what's the name of y'all song?
She's got my number.
He's got my number.
We rolling.
Boy.
She's got my number, she's calling every goddamn day. I'm just trying to find myself a better, find a better way. I don't know how long I can take it. See my heart, baby, don't break it out. Too much of this I can't say. She's got my heart held up inside her little sick box. I'm just trying to find myself in all these rusty doors. 'Cause I don't know how long I can take it. See my heart, baby, don't break it out. Don't much this I can say. She's got my mind held up inside a little heart-shaped box. I'm just trying to find myself in all these rusty thoughts. 'Cause I don't know how long I can take it. See my heart, baby, don't break now. Don't much this. got my heart held up inside a box.